Hello again, Rebecca here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Scraptember and 30 Days of Sketches, Day 2. Today's prompt is black and white, and there is the sketch. And this is also for a Punched Out Thursday to Die For with Kathy, Krista, Ronnie, Sue, Dorothy, myself, and Sonia. So I am going to pull from my stash to get all kinds of black and white elements, and I stay pretty true to this sketch today. I mean, it's only day 2, right? Woohoo! So that star die that I showed you there in the beginning is what I am using for the Punched Out Thursday to Die For, and that is a brand new thin cut from Close to My Heart, and it is the Star Cluster. I will have a link to my Close to My Heart website below if you would like to pick that up. So I go in and grab a whole bunch of black and white papers, and I'm going to cut 2 half-inch strips so that I can make the horizontal and vertical elements like in the sketch. Now there were some stars on here, so my stars, well, they look a little bit different because I didn't use individual stars. I used the Star Cluster thin cut there. I am going to cut my photos down to, I believe I'm going to try to get them as close to 2.5 by 3.5 as possible. So I will be cutting off some of the background and stuff. But you guys seen I had so many pictures documenting Sam holding that crocagator there. It's a baby too. It's a baby crocagator. That it didn't bother me that if I like cut off the thing's tail or, you know, part of my son's shirt, it was totally fine. So we just start trimming those all down, and I believe I'm trying, like I said, getting to 2.5 by 3.5 for the photo, and there are 3 photos, and I'm going to do it on the diagonal and run it off the page and actually trim some of that photo, which is kind of cool because I don't have anything like that in my stash, in my album. This is not a layout that I would do, so I totally love 30 Days of Sketches, which is put on by Christy over at Christy's Beautiful Life. She does it several times a year where we do the month-long series, and she picks the sketches, and everyone, posts. They try to play along every day, and sometimes true to the sketch, and sometimes completely rogue. But however, this September, she has teamed up with the Scrappy sisters, Katie and Jess, and Laura Alberts for Scraptember, where every day you get a new prompt. And you make a layout with the prompt. So I kind of went through, and if you've seen, I had some like handwritten stuff on my little cheat sheet that I got so I could make the layouts in advance. And I knew I was going to do this with a Punched Out Thursday to Die For. When I seen the stars, it fell on a Thursday. Everything came together. So I mat all 3 of those photos on some black cardstock and then tissue paper. Don't try to cut your tissue paper with your trimmer. It doesn't work. Just saying. Seen it right there. So just roughly cut it with my scissors. Now I've had a lot of people lately ask me what is the purpose of using tissue paper to mat my photos. Several reasons. Main one being I'm really lazy, and usually your tissue, like the kits that I get, are wrapped in tissue paper. And it's usually sitting folded because I fold it and I save it, and I put it in a little container that I have all of my foam tape and my Spiegel Mom scrap sequins and my Enamel Dots, and I just kind of set it in there and I use it. So it's like sitting right there. Someone's trying to find like a white piece of cardstock or something to mat my photo. It's just there. So mostly because I'm lazy and I don't want to look for anything else. But also, if there's a lot going on the background, which this would be the technical reason, and I should have kept the laziness a secret, right? But there's a lot of different pattern paper stripes that are going to be going on this background, right? It just kind of softens that and makes the photo. Oh, learn to speak English. The photos just jump out a little bit more. So really, that's the reason. There's 2 of them, laziness and a lot of things going on behind it. Mostly for me, it's laziness. I'm sure most other people, it's because they want to try to soften that background edge right around the photo. So I'm just getting these stuck down, basically like the sketch. I'm doing some vertical and then some smaller horizontals, just making sure that my photos are going to cover the, big gap right there. So I get that stuck nicely on there, and I'm going to trim off the excess over here. I need to switch my scissors up again, you guys. These white and orange handles they've been some good scissors, but they're going to go be garage scissors soon. So I kind of showed you there. I pulled the scraps that I had cut the rest of these little guys from, and I fussy cut. Yeah, I die cut with that star cluster, 3 of them, and I saved the stars that were whole, and I will use those as well. But now this is another thing. I started looking at it, and I knew as soon as I put those star clusters over all of this, because now I'm adding even more layers, those stars are going to get lost. You see, like horribly lost. So I'm thinking maybe back it with some of this other black and white paper that I didn't use. Maybe put it up here, and I'm like, no, I really want it to go here, and then underneath the photo, and then like I'm going to make it go at the top. So I thought that I was filming that, and I was not. I take vellum, and I basically treat it like a cut file, and I back the stars with some vellum. So now you can still see what is underneath the stars, but I don't feel like they're getting as lost as they were when it was just the open stars sitting on the layout there. And then I'm trying to figure out where, and I'm cutting them apart and making them work for me in this layout and just kind of like doubling them up. And I am basically just putting the adhesive on the pattern paper so that it doesn't seep onto the vellum. However, this is the art glitter glue, and it dries matte and clear, so you won't see it anyway, which is totally fine. So we get that down, and I'm going to run some of that off the page and trim it down just a smidge. And then I'm going to come in and take some of those inner pieces of the star and start decorating. Now, you know me, I like my borders. So I'm going to take my white gel pen and just do some messy lines right in there to just to kind of contain that mess. Like, that's how I look at it, So I just go in and just make my pretty little lines, and now I'm going to pull some of these stars, and I'm just going to create star clusters all around the page, and that's pretty much going to do it. So while I'm finishing this up, I want to remind you that it's a Punched Out Thursday to die for, and that means break out your punches, break out your dies, and create something fabulous. Also, check out my Thursday gals. They will be listed down below of what they created with their punches and or dies. And also, I will have everybody that's playing along with day 2 of the 30 days of sketches and Scraptember. Some people are playing along every day. Some people are not. I think that we're just going to link them all so that it's easier, and we just have one big massive file that we can copy over. I do come in, and I was thinking about using that. That is a Harry Potter quote. And you guys know I've got Harry Potter layouts coming up, so I just put it to the side. I am using my tweezers. These things are like super pokey. So like these are not normal tweezers. Like I have to watch myself because I stab myself a lot. But anyway, I grabbed some white enamel dots, and I'm going to sprinkle those around the page. I'm trying to use up all the enamel dots that I have stored like this, or gems. It was a really cool idea when I seen Mercy Tara do it, and I thought, oh yeah, it just doesn't work for me. I don't like it. It looks messy to me, and it's definitely the way I did it, but it just looks messy, and I would rather just have the pretty packaging. I know I'm horrible, but that's how it's in my head. It's too messy, and I don't like pulling it out and using it. So just gonna work on that. Then I come in with a few of I'm gonna pull out some black I believe gems, just to give a little bit of lump and bump on this layout, because there's not a lot. It's pretty flat. So that is going to do it. You guys will see those black gems in there. Don't forget to check everybody else out, and I'll see you again tomorrow for another layout. Bye.